Hello, everybody. As usually, welcome at our webinars. So I'm glad to see all of you. Tell me, please, how you are doing. You can write it in the chat. I'll really appreciate that. So yeah, let's say hello to each other. I'm doing well. And what about you? And not to waste our time, let me present the topic right away. So today we are going to speak about some very interesting things, and among them, first of all, we're going to mention some idioms. Also, we will speak a lot about conjunctions, and if we have time in the end, we will have use of English practice, again, in terms of conjunctions. So I think we can get started. And first of all, let's look at the picture. So, when one turtle says to another, "Come out of your shell," what can it be? Like, what does it mean? Any of your ideas in the comments, please? So, what is "come out of your shell"? And I will reveal as you're typing. So, here we have, for example, the sentence with it. It took Dan a few weeks to come out of his shell, but he's doing well now. He communicates more with classmates and even is going to the party. So in these terms, that's right, when we come out of our shell, we become more comfortable and friendly, especially with people and especially in the conditions that were uncomfortable to us before. So, as you've just noticed, our topic is idioms, and let's continue with many more of them. So here on the screen, you can see 10 idioms and their meanings. So please, let's try matching those idioms and their definitions. By the way, I like the comment about conflict between two turtles. Yeah, so come out of your shell, it's like literally вилізти з своєї раковини, yeah? So, не соромитися. Stop being shy. Okay. So we know it for sure. And number one is G. Lose your shyness and become friendly. What about the rest of them? So what is number two? Have the upper hand. All right. So the answer is F. And what it means? So when you have the upper hand, you control things. Like, who has the upper hand? Like, who is in charge here? Who controls everything? Yeah, who makes the final decision? Okay. What about pull your socks up? Again, your ideas about number three. So you say number three could be C. Pull your socks up. What does it mean? No ideas? Okay, that is B. Try hard to improve. So like try harder, you know? Yeah, pull your socks up, like try working harder. All right, go round in circles. Okay, Diana, I understand. That's all right, it could be, so that's why we have the topic. Okay, number four, go round in circles. Someone says it could be I. Make special effort. Well, I don't think so. I think in Ukrainian we have very similar, like ходити колами. So what could it be? Letter E. No, it's H. Not achieve very much. You know, even in Ukrainian we say like ми ходимо по колу. So we have the same result again and again, not moving forward. So the same is in English. Like, guys, probably something was wrong because we go around in circles, like we haven't achieved anything yet. Right. So that's about age, not achieve very much. To be like stuck in the same place. Number 5, to be too big for your boots. So what could be number 5? All right, that is C finally, yeah. So when we say that someone is too big for their boots, we say that this person behaves as if they are important. Are they really? Well, probably no. But it's something like to say he's a big head, maybe. Yeah, he's too big for his boots. Okay, number 6, have a lot on your plate. It's a nice idiom, pretty often used, so what is number 6? Yes, that is D. Have a lot of things to do. Like, can you help me, please? Well, sorry, but I have a lot on my plate. So, like, I need to do my things first. Okay. Number 7, to go the extra mile. You should know it. It's not hard. So, to go an extra mile. Okay, you say it's I, and it's correct. Make a special effort. Right. So, for example, he could have just provide the main services, but he went the extra mile, and he also took care of my other businesses, or he also offered some coffee or some place to rest. So if the person does more than was expected and more than they actually need to, that's that extra mile. Okay, what about number 8? Hit the roof. Let's just think what the roof is and what happens if we hit the roof. Okay, you say it's A, and that is right. So you become extremely angry, so angry that you literally hit the roof. All right, that's good. Number 9, keep the lid on. So lid, like крышка, and when you keep it on, what happens? You don't reveal any facts or information. So, for example, if you touch this topic, many dirty secrets could be revealed. So let's just keep the lid on. Like, let's just keep those secrets under the lid, like covered and safe. Okay, and number 10, walking on thin ice. Like, he's walking on thin ice here. So that is J, like be in a very dangerous situation. Sometimes physically dangerous, but sometimes it could be just about something that can, like, I don't know, make the person's life worse. For example, yesterday he took directly to his boss that his boss is not right. He's walking on thin ice, like he could be fired any moment, you know? So that could be about that. All right, so of course you can screenshot those idioms so that to learn them later. And for now, we keep moving to some practice of them. So here, some of these are collected to fill in the gaps. Let's get started. Number 1. By the way, today have more people here. I see some new names participating in the chat, so thank you for doing that. I'm really happy to have new commenters. So what's number 1? Okay. So you need to pull your socks up. Yeah, like you need to try working harder. That's right. Okay, number 2. What happened with Peter after summer camp? Yeah, that's right. He came out of his shell. Like he finally became more outgoing and less shy. Number 3. So what is number 3? Okay. She is too big to her boots. Yeah, exactly. So, like, she acts as if she's a super cool and very important person. Yeah? She became a little bit arrogant, maybe. Mm-hmm, that's right. By the way, extra question here. Why do we say in TV if typically we use on TV? Like, I watched some movie on TV. Why here in? Is it a mistake? Who can tell me? So actually, here it's about the sphere of her work. Yeah, exactly. So it's not like something is shown on TV or on radio. It's more about like she works in marketing, in IT, in TV, like in television as the sphere of professions. Yeah, that's right. Okay, number 4, I already see a lot of answers. So I have a lot of my plate at the moment, like I'm already busy enough. That's right. Number 5. Okay. He really has the upper hand. Like he is the boss there, yeah? Or he has the final word, or he decides. Okay. And number 7, I think it's obvious. So, I'm just going around in circles. Like I exercise more and I eat more and I don't lose any weight. So if I don't see any progress in any activity, I say that I go round in circles. Okay, well done here. So we have learned many new idioms. I hope you will remember them. And now let's proceed to some more phrases. So, number 1, what do you see literally? It's a big fish. And number 2, again, one obvious guessing, it's a white elephant. But what does it mean? Like, when do we say about something or someone that it's a big fish? Fish without water, cruise fish. I like your ideas. But when do we say big fish? About what or about whom? Okay, I can see your comments, but I don't see any explanation, so please. A big fish in a small pond. Okay, you even developed that. So I'm still interested in the meaning, and yes, yes, Diana, someone who has a lot of influence. So, like an important person would be a big fish. Oh, and someone says that it might be a threat. Actually, haven't heard, but maybe need to check. A really influential person. Yes, Slavочka. Okay, and what about a white elephant? Who is that? Like, when can we say that the person is a white elephant? Outsider or outcast? Well, actually, yeah, you're right. Like, someone who doesn't fit in. Like, it's as if you would say white crow in Ukrainian, like Bila Vorona. But in English, it could be white elephant, maybe, or black sheep also. Okay, so then now let's keep working with that and try to guess even more phrases or idioms here. So, what might be there with the weather? under the weather. And what does it mean? Okay, we will discuss it a bit later. Swallow your pride. Like проковтнути свою, not гордість, гординю. Probably like that. Number 3. What about flying colors? With flying colors, that's right. Okay, so it seems like you know these ones at least. Number 4, I will spoil, a big fish. Number 5. Yes, thank you for your comments. All of that is right. We will discuss it in a moment. Add insult to injury. Okay. Have your hands full. At a snail's pace. Look on the bright side. Yes, correct. And number 9, a white elephant, a shoulder to cry on. So, and then we can match. So as I see from your comments, you know most of them. Now let's briefly match. So if you are under the weather, what does it mean? That means you feel a little bit unwell. Yeah? So today I feel under the weather. You know, it's not as if you are completely ill, but you don't feel great. You prefer to stay in bed or not to go to school. So that might be it. Like, I feel under the weather, you know, not really good. Okay, when you swallow your pride, I already translated it, it would be clear. So you ignore your feelings, even though they are very emotional ones, and you do something that you feel isn't right. Okay. So with flying colors, as you already explained, that's very successfully. So yeah, we typically pass our exams or tests with flying colors, like for a very good mark. A big fish, as we already know, would be F, someone important, powerful, or influential, as you said. Add insult to injury, like make a bad situation worse. Insult, like образа, or maybe even physical insult, like нашкодити комусь. And injury would be like trauma. So when you add insult to injury, that makes even worse, yeah? Okay, have your hands full. Number 6. Sorry, I don't catch up with you. That is very busy, which is kind of obvious. Snails pass obviously slowly. On the bright side. So focus on the positive moments, yeah? Let's look on the bright side. At least we are still alive, for example. So a white elephant, as we already... Okay, so it's not only about that, it could be a waste of money and totally useless. Surprised? So when you say that, oh, why did you buy it? It's just a huge white elephant. Like, it's something that looks pretty interesting, maybe even amazing, and maybe it's unique, but it's completely useless. You don't know what to do with it. Like, you paid money only for an unusual color of that elephant, but you don't know how to use it. And a shoulder to cry on is a very supportive person, yeah, who's always there for you to share your feelings. Like плече, на якому можна поплакати. Okay, so very nice here. We've learned even more words, and now, again, you know what to do. Try matching them. So number 1. You can write even a few letters all together. All right, so I'm slowly starting to check. And yes, number 1 is F. Absolutely right. You need to swallow your pride. With flying colors, we pass our exams. Number 3, that's right, it's D. We'll need a big fish, like someone important, to get some permission. Number 4, yeah, that's right, it's E. So we need a shoulder to cry on. Number 5. Any of your comments? Number 5, please. So Carly ended relationship. And moreover, I would say, yeah, she said she had already met someone else. Yeah, so she added insult to injury. Of course, number 6. Any of your ideas? Number 6. A white elephant, something expensive but useless. And number 7. So they are moving at a snail's pace, very slowly. Okay, well done here. So then, right now, we move to the second part of the webinar, and now we start working with linkers. So here, I have sentences which all mean the same context, but depending on the structure, we may use completely different conjunctions, сполучники. So number 1, try guessing. It may be more than one option. I really want to visit your country in spring. I have to prepare for the tests. So what could it be? But or although, yeah. But is very simple, and here it sounds natural because it's informal conversation. Yeah, okay. Number 2, the same meaning. I'm not sure I will be able to visit your country. I need to study these days. Yeah, just simply because, okay, and I spoiled number 3. So for now, we don't make it too difficult. Like the simplest linkers. So when we show the reason, when we explain the reason, it's because, yeah? Number 3, I'm dreaming about visiting your country. However, I'm not sure I can make it in spring. So as you can see, however, is pretty similar to but we use it as a start of a new sentence, or we can use it with a semicolon like крапка с комою and then however. If we use just comma, we don't put however typically. So however starts a new idea, typically a new sentence, sometimes like a new independent part of the sentence. Okay, I'm dreaming about visiting your country, so I'm not sure. Unfortunately, okay, here I have my test soon. So, or therefore, yeah, I'm not sure whether I will be able to visit your country. So is also fine, completely agree. And number 5, due to, says Vicky. But here we have the opposite one. If I am going to visit, я збираюся таки, then in spite of lack of time, the person finally decided to visit the country. So here we have contrast. Like I have not enough time, but still I will visit you. See? Okay. That's very nice. So, as you can see, linkers are the topic of today's lesson. And now let's keep moving. So, here I've got different linkers. And again, you need to put them in the correct gaps. So, number 1, Sherry has a great job. She is a very unhappy person. But, so, but is the simplest linker of contrast, showing the difference between two ideas. Number 2, the sun is shining brightly. The picnic was still cancelled. Yet, the picnic was still cancelled. Okay. Проте, yet. All right, number 3. So would continue the idea logically. The rain is pouring, so the picnic was cancelled, right? But if the sun is shining and picnic was still cancelled, we use the link of contrast, yet. Okay, number 3. The security lines are very long at the airport. So, like, we show why you should probably leave early. Number 4. John doesn't like chicken. Nor does he like pork or burgers. So, if we want to show that not this and not that, we can use nor to show the second negation, друге заперечення. Number 5. I'll go to Montreal, Quebec for the weekend. I'm not sure. So we have two cities mentioned. Of course, it's or. If we have a choice, it would be or. Number 6. Sheila works hard. She makes a lot of money. Okay, the simplest linker, and she makes a lot of money. Two logically connected things. And number 7, pay attention, it's a tricky one. He loves her more than anything in the world. 4, she is reliable and kind. So here it's a tricky thing because he loves her for being reliable and kind, but also we can use it as something like because, right? So with this for, we explain why she loves her, and typically that's the clause of reason, and there we can use because. So for she's reliable and kind is one of possible forms how to express some logical connection. So then, as we keep moving, I want you to look at the beginnings and the endings of the phrases and match them. So number 1, what letter could it be? Okay. I did my best to pass my English exam, yet, проте, I failed. Number 2, I got a seat in the front row. 4, because I was really interested in the lecture topic. Yeah, so you are learning. Okay, number 3, he can speak English and Spanish fluently, but his French is not so good. So French goes as a contrast to English and Spanish. Number 4, nobody expected Sam to get the job. Number 4, nor did I. Ніхто не очікував, і я не очікував. So we have first negation here. Nobody expected. It's like no person ever, yeah? And nor did I. І я не очікував. Number 5. Everybody was eager to participate in charity. Number 5. C. But the manager. So pay attention here. But is used in a weird way. Here it means окрім. So everybody wanted, but the manager didn't. Like would be the full idea. But the manager, окрім менеджера. So but could be used as окрім. Number 6. It should be easy. So A, yeah, I'll get my car serviced, or there is something wrong with the brakes, because there is something wrong. And number 7, it was raining heavily, so we decided to stay at home. Yeah, everything looks logical. Let's keep moving. So then, here as you can see, we have 5 different types of linkers. The first group is the linkers of cause, причини, reason, again, kind of причини, and result, наслідків, yeah? And looking at them, we have many different words. Which category refers to cause, reason, and result? A, B, C, D, or E? Of course, it's C. So, cause. Why did you do it? Because, yeah? Or, for example, what was the result? I was tired, therefore I came to bed. And all the reasons because of, due to, and so on. Like, what was the reason? Because of the rain, or due to the rainy weather. Okay, number 2. Oh, some of you are working hard. Number 2, contrasting. Yes, that's D. So all these words show contrast. Number 3, giving examples. That's E. Yeah. So that is to say, could be used in other words, that is, for short, or for example. Should I give any examples of how to use them in the context? For example, he's a very responsible person. That is to say, he would always do what was asked. All right. Then number 4 is sequencing. Of course, it's B, so we use first, next, second, and so on, or as adverbs, firstly, secondly, finally. And adding information, the simplest word would be and, but also we have many more others. Like besides, furthermore, moreover, in addition, and so on and so on. So if you need any more examples of using any of these words, just write the linker in the comment with a question mark, and I'll try to come up with something. Agree? Again, look through all the linkers. If some of them are not known and you want to clarify, please write the word and the question mark. I'll try. So, and we keep moving. First group that we will look through is the linkers of addition, like giving additional information, and is the simplest here, as you can see. But what else can we use, especially to emphasize the fact that there are 2 things? It's both. For example, I need to call both Andy and Helen. You can simply say I need to call Andy and Helen, but if you want to show that there are 2 of them which really need to be included, yeah, you say both. So, what linkers do we use to add another fact? Or to say that something happens at the same time? Okay, I will show you. So it could be to, as well as, or also. Let's try applying them. I need to call Andy, Kate, and Helen. What would we put after Helen? And Helen too, or and Helen as well. Or for example, I like chocolate and I like ice cream too. I like ice cream as well. So we cannot add it, but sometimes it might be there. And here you need to understand it because in use of English tasks, when something is missing and you see that all of it is just logical listing of similar things, then the only thing you can add is some linker of addition. Okay, number 2, I need to call Andy, Kate, as well as Helen. So as you notice, we use to only after all things listed, but as well as can be used before the last one. I need to call Andy, Kate, and also Helen. Right. So and could be used with also to kind of highlight the final listing thing. All right, good job here. So then let's speak about those crazy linkers. Sometimes we can use two words to show whether including two things or choosing one of two or excluding both. So number 1, contain caffeine. I think here it's obvious. Both tea and coffee, like і чай, і кава, or обоє чай і кава, that would be translated in this way. Number 2, we show the choice. So, in the morning, I drink either tea or coffee. Pay attention, it could be pronounced as either or either, as well as here neither or neither, and there is no difference in pronunciation. So, doesn't matter what you prefer, either, neither, either, neither, it's okay. The only moment is just when you say either, pronounce neither and not neither, because that would be a bit weird. And number 3, if you exclude both things, you would say neither tea nor coffee contains gluten. So I hope that is clear. Just one more thing to remember, but you can do it after the webinar. And for now, just remember that they are called this, like correlative conjunctions. All right, now let's practice them very briefly. So number 1, which of them could be used? So any of your ideas about this one? Okay, Slavочka, that's right. Whether you earn an A or get a lower grade, do your best. Чи ти отримаєш A, чи нижчий бал? It doesn't matter, just do your best. So here we kinda don't care what option will be there. Whether I decide to go to another country or prepare to my exams, remembering the previous context, I will still be happy with my choice. So no matter what I choose. Number 2, yeah, both John and Bill are excellent tennis players. 2 included. Number 3, neither the professor nor the students understood the problem. So with but you need to use also. But here neither the profession nor the students. Ні ті, ні інші. Number 4. I not only lost the game, but also hurt my ankle. Не лише програв гру, а й пошкодив собі. Oh my god. Again, forgot the word. You helped me already, and I still can't remember. All right, number 5. Professor Jenkins no, not was, is not patient, but fair. So we show some contrast. He's not patient, but fair. And number 6, Barbara is as tall as Mary. So if we want to show that two are the same in something, we use as. Okay, very good. So then, now let's try and spot some mistakes in the following sentences. Number 1, he hadn't done any homework, neither had he brought any of his books to class. Pay attention that we have if any, so some sentences might be correct. If you feel it's right, just write plus or correct in the comments. So number 1, I see some confusion. It's correct. So we have two negative moments. Він не зробив домашку, та ще й не приніс ніяких підручників. So he hadn't done homework, neither had he brought his books. Yeah, it's a correct sentence. Number 2, we didn't get to see the castle, nor didn't we see the cathedral. So what about number 2? Okay, I see some pluses, but unfortunately, so pay attention here. When a clause with neither or nor is used after negative clause, we invert the subject and the verb. So he hadn't done homework, neither, and we don't say he had, but we say had he. So we use some inversion. So here, nor did we see the cathedral. We don't need a negative part not after nor. That's the mistake. So we didn't get first negation, nor second negation, and no more nots or no's in the sentence. Nor did we see the cathedral. Number 3, you say that it has a mistake. Let's try spotting it. I hate snakes. I can't even look at a picture of a snake. I can't also. I can't either. That's not a bad idea, or we can say it even easier and more natural. We say, neither can I. І я не можу. So, I hate snakes. I can't look at them. Neither can I. Again, if you use a short answer, it's always inverted form, like перевернута по порядку форма. We use neither, then auxiliary verb of the tense. Here it can, and then the subject. Neither did he. Neither do I. Neither are we. Okay. Number 4. Jacqueline doesn't drive. Nor does Gina. What do you think? Neither does Gina. Okay, but actually sometimes we can use nor. Even though neither is more popular, when we agree with something negative, this form could also be. Number 4. Either candidate is good. You say it's incorrect. Why? I need some proofs. Actually, it is possible there. Yeah, we can say like that. Either candidate is good. Like, будь-який з хороший. But if you want to make it negative, you would say neither candidate is good. Жоден з них не є добрим. Yeah, here будь-який кандидат підходить. Thank you, Diana. Number 6. Neither all the candidates are good. Could we say it this way? So, pay attention that here we pay attention to the pronoun. The subject is neither, жоден з, and then we use is because it's kinda one person. Жоден з них не є хорошим. Є neither is. Neither John and Paula can come. Number 7. Someone says it's all right, but I can spot the mistake. Neither John and Paula. Neither John nor Paula. If we have two of people excluded, remember the previous picture with coffee and tea, we use neither nor. And number 8, yeah, that's right, you noticed that. Number 8, also incorrect. I didn't like. Your ideas? Either of the pictures. So here, pay attention that in this context, we always mean two people, two options. So if we would mean more, we would change it for any, some, none. For example, none of the candidates is good if we speak about 5 candidates. But if there are only 2 of them, we say neither. I didn't like any of the pictures because there were many pictures in the gallery. But I didn't like either of the pictures, meaning there were 2 of them, both of them were bad. And the same with both and all. I liked both options, there were 2 options. I liked all options, there were many options. Okay, yeah, you got me. So just remember that all the options we considered are about binary choice. Вибір з наявних двох. Okay, we keep moving. So my favorite subtopic is linkers of contrast. So here, the main thing you have to remember is that each of those linkers is used in some particular pattern. We use although, even though with a subject plus verb construction, or we call it clause, or we call it граматична основа in Ukrainian. So simply saying there should be a sentence з підметом і присудком, subject and verb after it. In spite of or despite are used with gerund or noun. So there should be some object there after them. Or in Ukrainian, it should be just додаток після цих сполучників. Also pay attention that we use of only with in spite, but not with despite. In spite of equals despite. Although equals even though. But if we want to use the full sentence after in spite or despite, we add the fact. So, and then it becomes equal, although, or even though. So we can say, although I was busy, or we can say, despite what? Some object, my busyness. Or, despite the fact that, and again, full sentence, I was busy. Also, we can use words like whereas, хоча, while, also pretty similar, or but. Also, however, even so, навіть хоча, nevertheless, тим не менш, still, все ще, or хоча, and yet. Okay, so I can see that you're already choosing the options. Let's try doing that together. So you need to choose one of the linkers and put them in the correct gaps. Number 1. My brother likes team sports, whereas в той час як I prefer individual sports. Actually, we can use although, I don't see a problem there. But whereas is less contrasting and more additional. It's something in between contrast and addition. Okay, number 2. Although Dan is an athlete, he refuses to eat healthily. Хоча він атлет, he refuses, він відмовляється. Number 3. In spite of participating in many competitions, Rob has never won a gold medal. Can we say despite of participating? We cannot, because if we say despite, of is not needed. So despite participating, in spite of participating. Number 4, so here vice versa. We say whether despite the weather or in spite of the weather. All right, number 5. Though Jane enjoys playing tennis, she doesn't like watching it on TV. Also, we can say although and maybe even though. So here, no big difference. Though is less formal, much less formal. Number 6, in spite of the fact, for example, I live very close to work, I still drive there. Or despite the fact could be, or even though, or although. So all of them are synonymic. And number 7, Jasmine was worried about his team's performance. Oh, sorry, Jamie, in the match. However, проте, they ended up winning. So remember I was saying that we usually start a new sentence using however, or nevertheless, тим не менш. Why not? Or still, or yet. All of them would start a new sentence. Good job. So then, here, as you can see, all of them are used to make contrast. But although is more formal than though, and even though is even more strong. So it's the same as to use хоча and навіть хоча. Хоча він був втомлений, він зробив завдання. Although he was tired, he did the task. Even though he was tired, навіть хоча він був втомлений, he did the task, so it's stronger. Okay, as you can see here, although is typically used in the beginning or in the middle of the sentence, though likes to be in the end of the construction. And again, it's less formal. One more thing, if you use though, you typically don't use any more contrasting linkers. So like wait till the end and put though, that's enough. And pay attention to the second one. We don't use but in the beginning, so but is only for the mids. Although can start or be placed in the middle, but only in the middle, though in the end. And we use yet to make contrast. For example, in theory it seems like a good idea, yet I don't think it will work in practice. So also, as we spoke before, despite or in spite of are equal although, but they are followed not by the sentence, but by just some object, noun or gerund. So we say, although I, subject, was, verb, ill, but in spite of what? My illness. Now look at these two sentences. Tell me, are they correct? Number 1 and 2, are they correct? So the first one is, because here we have gerund, but number 2 is wrong, so we can say whether although I felt ill or despite what? My illness. Alright, so here try to avoid this mistake. We never use despite with subject and verb construction. Let's hope you remembered it. And we proceed to the second block, the third block probably. So the linkers of reason. Here again, you should be aware of different patterns. So naturally, you use because with subject, verb, or sentence-like construction. Because I was tired, I decided to stay home. But because of what? My bad mood, or because of being tired. We use just object. Also, instead of because of, you can say on account of, owing to or due to, more like завдяки, завдячуючи, some reason. And again, if you want to turn owing to or due to into the sentence-like construction, you need to say the fact. So, owing to my illness, I stayed at home, but owing to the fact that I was ill, I stayed at home. And also, because has two more formal equivalents, as or since. As I was ill, I needed a special, paper from the doctor. So here, let's try inserting them in the gaps. Number 1 is simple. I made a sandwich. Why? Because I was hungry. Number 2, I argued with Sarah. I think they go in the natural order, so we can just check. Because of you, через тебе. She didn't pay well due to the fact that she hadn't practiced. Or because she hadn't practiced. Both could be, they are the same. They cancelled the match. Number 4. Due to or because of the heavy rain. I am tired. Because, as, since I didn't sleep well. And Anna decided not to call Phil due to or on account of the time, like по причине пізнього часу. All right, good job there. So pay attention that because is mostly used in informal writing, while as or since are used in more formal texts. So then right now, let's do a short test. Your task is to decide what to use. Number 1. Since in the third sentence, great question. So as you're thinking, I'm trying to answer. We can, it's not a problem. We can say since she hadn't practiced. Okay. Actually, you can say why couldn't we use? Because it's about a rule and not about like the past situation. So here, number 1, the rowing team finished last, having trained hard all year. Despite, не дивлячись на тренування. Yeah, despite having trained hard. Number 2, I enjoyed playing football. My brother prefers watching it on TV. Whereas, хоча в той час як. Yeah, so it's kinda in between and but. Number 3, my classmates and I entered a skateboarding competition, being advised not to by our PE teacher. So what is number 3? In spite of. Yeah. That is correct. All right. So then, very briefly, I'm just showing you the clauses of result. So here we'd rather say because, or we can say so. I'm calling to complain because the goods are damaged. So here I'm calling why? Because. But the goods are damaged, so I'm calling to complain. So if you reverse the clause of reason, you have the clause of result where we have own special linkers. So here you can see it, reason and result. So we use so to express the result, but also we can say as a result, consequently, therefore, and typically they contain subject-verb construction afterwards. Or we can say as a result of something. And pay attention to the examples. Alice is a versatile athlete. Therefore, ось чому, she was asked to participate. So here we've got the result. Because of being an athlete, she was asked. Or as a result of winning a talent show, Mark is now a professional musician. Typically, we start a new sentence with them. So I would advise you to do it this way. But so and as a result could be in the middle. That's not a problem. Actually, therefore as well. But also, they are capable of starting new sentences. So, as I can see, it's almost time to finish. So I suggest we do one last exercise, and then you will get the chance to practice even more of these things on the slides. I think you would enjoy it. And for now, let me just show you a few very useful things that I'm pretty sure you will need. So, first of all, extra practice. You can scan this QR code or you can find the link for testenglish.com in our chat. And there you have many more exercises for practicing linkers of reason, contrast, and result. Here you can see how it looks like. So you go to the exercises. You have 1, 2, 3 there. And also you can switch to explanation block where all of them are shown, especially describing how to use, what punctuation marks to use, and so on and so on. So pretty useful. I hope it would contain all the information put together. And additionally, I'm giving you Quizlet with all the translations of different linking words. So again, you can scan the QR or you can follow the second link in the chat. You can find their Quizlet linkers and learn them for the future. Okay, not at all. And now let's sum up with some tricky questions. So first of all, can we use for instead of because? Yes, we can. All right, you can check the previous slides to make sure that it's true. Is all, though, more formal than though? Yes, for sure. Okay, number 3. Do we use so to explain a reason? Number 3. He was tired, so he decided to sleep. Yeah, exactly. We use it to describe result. But if we want to explain a reason, we can use, for example, so that he decided to go to sleep so that to have some rest. Okay, number 4. Do we use infinitive after despite? For example, despite to be hungry. Can you say it this way? No, of course not. Despite being hungry or despite his hunger, noun or gerund. Number 5, can we say during I was sleeping? So number 5, yes or no, can we say during I was sleeping? Also no. Yeah, we can say while with sentences, but we can say during my sleep or during my nap. So during something, but while I was doing something. And number 6, can we use before and after with will? All right, it's a tricky one, but let me give you some example. For example, I will have some rest after I will pass my NMT with flying colors. So can we say it this way? I'll have some rest after I will pass. No. So here you need to remember when we have some time markers, we never use will in the same clause. It's as if you're learning conditionals back. And the same with when, if, after, before, as soon as, and many more other words. So yeah, we don't use will with them. All right. So then it's all for now. Thank you for your extremely active work today. I really like the number of your comments. Keep doing it this way, keep revising. You may start checking our first presentations to refresh some of knowledge right before the test. And thank you for participating today. Have a nice evening, have a nice weekend. See you in a week. Goodbye.